Okay, here we go. This is drawing a McLaren P1, lesson 11. And as you can see, I'm working on what I had started yesterday, which is the front wheel and tire. And what I'm trying to do is, it's not as dark as it will be in the finished version, but I wanted to get the points of it down so that I knew where I was going with it and make it look representative of the way that it's going to look. And it's the multi-spoked wheel, as you see there. Has a little tiny emblem in the center of it. It has 5 lug nuts, and all those are just angular holes where the lug nuts go into it. And it has the brake disc in there, which you can't really see, and the brake caliper, which you can see. That's the light part that looks kind of like a banana or something in there. So what I'm doing is just lining it out to try to get it to the point that I can tell where all the elements are, and that makes it easier for me. If I block in all the parts, then I can go ahead and at my leisure I can make it as dark or light as it needs to be. Now again, I have just gone ahead and made it light this time, and it's going to end up a lot darker than this, and I can tell you right now. But until I get the exact value, I don't want to commit to it too hard. So I'm making it lighter, and then we'll work up to where it's finally going to be. And I have to do that carefully because there are going to be other black elements around it, and very dark elements around it. So I don't want to obscure anything or make all the colors, all the tonal values run together. So this is a very delicate thing here. It's not going to absolutely kill the drawing if I did it too darkly, but if I do it too darkly, then I've got to make the car a black car or a deep gray car or blue car or something like that. So I want to make sure that I don't get to that point that I have to adjust all the values upward in order, or downward, darker, to make it so that it's also dark that some of the values run together. So what I'm doing here is obviously the tire right now, and in just a minute I'm going to go in and just lightly ghost in the shading on the wheel. And I'm darkening up a little bit on the inside of the caliper too. That's what it shows on the photograph that I'm using for this. This, by the way, was a car show car, so you'll see that the lighting is really weird because they always have way too many lights on a car to make it look good from any angle. But that's not what real life is like. That's not what the sun does to cars. So I tried to eliminate some of the highlights on the car where it had too many sources of light that gave very disturbing images and things that just couldn't possibly happen in real life without having several lights to do it. And I really don't like that too much. Okay, here we are. This is working on the places where the lug nuts go, the holes for the lug nuts or recesses for the lug nuts. And here I am working on the inside of the caliper, so it kind of separates itself from the rest of the hub and from the wheel. But on the last pass for inspection on this, I'm going to darken up, like I say, a lot of these things. So this is not the final values, but we're getting just basically where everything's going to be. All the parts are going to be there. And now I'm doing the mirror. Because it's right out in the middle, it's pretty showy, and it's going to be something that I want to see. So I'm darkening it up fairly hard. I started out kind of light on it, but I decided that I want to make it stand out more, so I am darkening it up. At first I was going to make it look as if I were chrome or something, but the original on the picture that I have is kind of a grayish color, so I'm going to make it a little bit darker than that, kind of in the charcoal region or something like that, maybe, with a little bit of reflection on it too. but I don't want to make it so that it blends into the car behind it or to the window behind it. So I had to either go one way or the other, either much lighter or much darker than the surrounding areas. So I'm going to go darker. Okay, getting down pretty close to it now. You see I've started to line out where the rim is for the rear wheel and where the tire is going to be, where it's going to be touching the ground. And I hope to see you back here tomorrow. We're going to do a whole bunch more. We should get this wheel and tire done, and then we'll try and figure out how much more we've got to do. Thank you. Bye.